Yo, what's up? My name is YEAHMAP and welcome to this F1 2020 video. As a member of the Racing Ahead team, I got my hands on an early version of the game. Thank you Codemasters, I really love you all. So, it is time to talk about the brand new F1 game. The footage I'm about to show you is from a preview build, so everything you see does not represent the final state of the game. That's why it says work in progress at the top, lol. Now with that out of the way, in today's video I will mainly focus on 3 things. 1. The accessible handling. 2. The Grand Prix mode. And 3. All the new cars, including the iconic Schumacher cars. Right, before we start, let me know in the top right corner if you want to see more F1 2020 content. And tell me in the comments what do you want to see as soon as the game comes out. So, let's talk about accessible handling. Codemasters included 2 types of handling modes in the new F1 game. Accessible handling mode is there and it is great. Now you might ask, what the f is that? Well, in the Grand Prix mode you can select the handling style between casual and standard. And standard is basically the type of handling you're used to in the previous games. And casual is new. This one allows for newcomers or beginners to have a better racing experience with the deadly fast F1 cars. In order to test the difference, I got my very old racing wheel out again. It's a Trustmaster Universal Challenge racing wheel. Yeah, I know it's nothing special, but hey, it has a Ferrari logo on it, so it better be good, right? I'd say I'm a beginner F1 driver, but I have a lot of driving experience in other racing games. So I can maybe handle the expert handling without ABS, traction control and so on. I'm basically the best driver ever. And yes, I need a racing line. Shut up! Anyways, do you know who's even worse in this game than me and is even a bigger F1 fan? My dad. And yes, he doesn't have any racing game experience whatsoever, he never plays racing games basically. So let's test a new handling mode on him. First he drove the more difficult handling mode, standard. He chose Monaco because he knows this track very well. Then I gave him a few laps to get used to the handling. After that, he gave everything. Yes, please don't laugh. And we got a lap time. He got a 1 minute and 39 seconds, .969, which is slow, but okay for a beginner. And then we switched to the casual mode. And I let him get used to it and recorded another lap time. Well, this time it was a 1 minute 24 seconds, .725, so almost 15 seconds faster. Damn, but how does this work? Let's have a look. You can see the racing line, right? With the casual mode enabled, the car basically gets sucked towards this racing line. So it basically has assistant steering enabled. The game is more forgiving and you will have a much better racing experience with this mode. But you can still f everything up within seconds. This mode helps to get better looking racing experience, I guess. Even I tested this mode and I can say, yeah, it really helps. Getting used to the speed, the steering, braking and so on. Next up, I was also able to record the Grand Prix mode, and here you can select one or multiple events with the track that you want, and of course start with qualifying before the race. You can select everything from the difficulty of the race type, casual and standard, as well as the AI, the weather and so on. So I started the Grand Prix with qualifying in Russia because... yeah. And after getting used to the track with other AI drivers and stuff like that, I started my first legit race. And yes, with medium traction control, because without it, I'm basically a dead man. Enjoy the footage of it, and after that we will talk about the cars. But for now, just listen to these absolutely awesome sounds.
We can now use DRS. DRS now available. The race will see you in Park 5.
I'm basically the best driver ever. So, I was allowed to film most of the new F1 cars, and holy shit, they look sick as f. Here you can see a 360-degree rotation of the new cars. The game also features the F1 cars from last year's game, as well as other classics. And last but not least, we're having the Michael Schumacher iconic cars. He really is and will always be my personal F1 legend, and he actually got me into watching F1. It all started when I got the Michael Schumacher F1 Lego Ferrari from 2004, which is still on my shelf today, but slightly modified. But I'm still very sad what happened and is still happening to the legend himself. I wish him and his family all the best. So I'm very proud to be able to show you some of the most iconic cars of Michael Schumacher's career. Starting with the Jordan 191, the Benetton B194 and the Benetton Renault B195. And of course the Ferrari F1 2000 and the updated F2004. F1 2020 releases to the world on Friday, the 10th of July 2020. If you buy the Michael Schumacher edition, which I highly recommend, you will also receive the game 3 days earlier and exclusive content.
Yeah.
I really hope you enjoyed this F1 2020 video. Again, vote in the top right corner if you want to see more, and tell me in the comments what kind of videos you want to see. Until then, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned.